So I would say that most of us have a pretty dysfunctional relationship when it comes to goal setting. There's two categories. There's people that write a bunch of stuff out, they set vision boards, and yet they never accomplish the things that they want to accomplish. Or there's the lucky few who actually do accomplish those external measures of success, but in both groups, they seldom feel fulfilled on the inside. Maybe you get that Ferrari you've always been dreaming about, and then 2 weeks later you're like, but it's just a car and it costs a lot to insure, and now all these people want to steal my car, and you realize you're still the same person. The reason is that goal setting as we know it is bunk, it's broken, it sucks, we need to change it, and I have the answers for you. Join me on the inside of this video and I'll teach you how to set goals that allow you to be happy and fulfilled from the very get-go and the entire time that you're alive. Let's get into it. My name is Andrew Love, and here at Whole Goals, it's my job, as I see it, to help you, men, especially husbands and fathers, to reclaim your mind, heart, body, and soul in order to become an unstoppable force of change in this world. Now, we live in a very materialistic society. It's no doubt that you have some sort of external desires. We all do. It's not a bad thing. We want a nice home. That's very natural to us. Even animals want a nice home to dwell in. It creates safety, creates comfort, familiarity. We want a nice car, we want a nice family, we want all these things. They're not necessarily bad. But the way that materialistic society has brainwashed us is that we think that those things will bring us joy, when that's the furthest thing from the truth. Joy doesn't come from anywhere outside of you. Joy arises from within in terms of our perception of the world outside of us. I'm sure you've met some very happy poor people and some very miserable rich people. Conversely, I'm sure you've met some very rich people that are extremely happy and some very poor people who complain all the time. It doesn't really matter what you have, it matters how you feel. So then why are we so insistent upon creating external goals based on getting more stuff? We can see celebrity after celebrity or politician or whoever that we look up to have complete meltdowns, complete breakdowns, lose their families, lose their sanity, lose it all, and yet we still want to be like them. That's how deep the brainwashing goes. It's so deep in our minds, and it's part of our subconscious reality that we think that happiness is just another social media like away, or if I just get to this status in society, or if I can just join this secret society, or whatever the case may be. But it just doesn't work like that. So why don't we just create goals that allow us to be happy here and now? That's the point. So the Northstar goal is my version of Joe Dispenza's concept of remembering the future. If you don't know Joe Dispenza, you should check out his work. I've been following him for years, and I've been doing his meditations for years. They've really changed my whole life from the inside out. Everything starts from the inside out. And this is why that concept is so crucial, is because we are creatures of habit. We think the same thoughts, and those thoughts produce the same feelings, and those feelings produce the same experience. So our days are usually the same. We're usually going to the same job, we're usually thinking the same thoughts, watching the similar type of TV shows. Even on YouTube, you'll end up having playlists because you end up watching the same kind of videos again and again and again and again. And yet we want our life to change. So we set goals, but we're trying to create a new future as the same person, and it doesn't work. That's conflict. It just doesn't work that way. So because we're creatures of habits, we end up unwillingly making the same mistakes over and over again because of our subconscious beliefs and our habits. And it's not exactly easy to go inside your brain, to go inside your invisible mind and recreate yourself. But there is a practical way of doing it, and that's where the Northstar goal really comes in handy. So with the Northstar goal, what you do is you figure out the future that you want, and then you feel it now. And here's the distinction is, if let's say you do want a house, right? You want a really nice fancy house. You picture it and you experience it now, because it's not about the house. It's not about getting the house. It's how that house will make you feel. A lot of people assume that if they have a really nice house, then they can feel wealthy, they can feel safe, they can feel secure. And so in traditional goal setting, you would set a goal to save up a bunch of money and try to get enough to buy the house of your dreams. And it's very slow, and the problem is the entire time you're focused on not having that house. So you're actually working from a place of lack or a place of desperation. So you're gonna be making bad decisions, or you're gonna be taking the slowest route possible to get that ultimate external goal. The fastest way, the expedited way, is to feel all the feelings that you would feel if you had that house now, and it allows you to become a person that would actually live in that house, and you start making your decisions based on that person, that future version of yourself. So the way that you view money and how easy it is to acquire, the way in which you think about real estate or understand real estate, and whether you're afraid to sign contracts or whatever the case may be, you orient yourself to a person that happily signs that contract to buy that house, because it's so natural and easy for that version of you. So the essence of a North Star goal is figuring out where you want to be in 3 months or 6 months or a year. You find the emotional reason why you would want that, the emotional result that you're seeking after, and you practice experiencing that emotion. You practice being that future version of yourself now. That means your decisions, the way that you talk to people, is based off of that future version of yourself, and you're slowly practicing to become that version of you. It becomes more natural, and then that future becomes inevitable. You see, you're either practicing for the future or you're repeating your past self again and again and again and again and again, and that's what most people do because they're not intuitively becoming an intentional version of their future selves. If you type in future self down below, I'll make sure to get back to you with some motivating words. So the practical way that you can do that is find the emotion or a couple emotions that you're seeking after, and you practice that in the morning. First thing when you wake up, you think about the future that you're looking after, but you don't worry about the particulars. You don't worry about how you're gonna get there or any of the details. You just allow yourself to experience that moment and all the great feelings that come with being that version of yourself. And then at night, before you go to bed, you do the same thing. I would recommend doing this with music or some sort of guided meditation in order to really, really go deep. So in the morning and at night, do it for between 10 and 30 minutes, and you're steeping yourself in the future. And then throughout the day, you can just stop as much as you can. You can stop on a bench whenever you have time, and you can just breathe and allow yourself to feel those feelings. And what you're doing is incrementally you're becoming that future version of yourself. You're letting yourself become that person on a cellular level, one cell at a time, one thought at a time, one emotion at a time, and little by little you are actually becoming that version of yourself. So the essence of a North Star goal is to not focus on the external and wait for it and withhold happy emotions until you get that external thing. It's allowing yourself to feel those emotions of having it now, and that makes that future inevitable because that version of you already has it and you're becoming that. I hope this video was helpful. If you liked it, just know that there's a free PDF below that allows you to start the practice of embodying the future by getting clear about that here and now. As always, it's been a pleasure to make this content for you. If it's been helpful, please subscribe. It'll help the channel grow. It'll help get these ideas out there. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.